Hello, welcome back to 5 Nursing Tutorial YouTube channel. In this class, we are going to discuss with another condition that is epistaxis. Here, epistaxis is nothing but it's also known as nose bleeding. It's a hemorrhage from the nose because of that is nose bleeding caused due to the rupture of teeny distended vessels in the mucous membrane of the nose in any area of a nose. Okay, we'll see the meaning. This one definition that epistaxis. Epistaxis is also called as nose bleeding. Nose bleeding. Here, epistaxis is also called as nose bleeding. Hemorrhage from the nose. Hemorrhage from the nose caused by rupture of teeny distended vessels from mucous membrane. Mucous membrane in the nose, in any areas of the nose. Okay, we'll see here. Epistaxis is nothing but a nose bleeding. Why there will be the nose bleeding? There will be the hemorrhage. Hemorrhage is nothing but a bleeding from the nose. That is due to rupture. There will be the tear of small blood vessels from the mucous membrane. Teeny blood vessels are present in the mucous membrane. Due to that rupture of vessels, there will be the nose bleeding. It causes epistaxis. Next we'll see the causes for epistaxis. Causes. First and foremost, there will be the nasal trauma. Nasal trauma, and then allergic, chronic or infectious rhinitis, and then chemical irritation, and then medication, and then dry of the nasal mucus due to low humidity. And then here dry of the nasal mucus, that is due to low humidity. And then here medication like that is a nasal spray, using nasal spray. And then chemical irritation, and then allergic, chronic or infectious rhinitis. Here rhinitis is nothing but there will be the inflammation of the mucous membrane. And then this is due to the injury, nasal trauma, that is due to the injury or road traffic accident. And next, neoplasm of the nose or sinuses. Here neoplasm is nothing but a abnormal growth of tissue of new mass, we can say, that is neoplasma of a nose and then sinuses. After that, vascular malformation. Vascular malformation. These are the causes. Next we'll see the systemic causes. Systemic causes. These are the common causes. Next we'll see the systemic causes. Systemic causes. Here, hypertension, hypertension, hemophilia, hemophilia, leukemia, and liver diseases. Liver diseases. Okay, we'll see hypertension. It is blood pressure consistently too high. That is referred hypertension. It may cause nose bleeding. It may be the cause. It may be the cause for epistaxis. And then next, hemophilia. Here what happens? Blood doesn't get clot normally. That is hemophilia. And then leukemia. Here leukemia referred to the cancer of a blood cells. And then liver diseases. That is, for example, cirrhosis, hepatitis, and then liver cancer. These are the causes, systemic causes for the epistaxis. Next, we'll see the types of epistaxis. Here, types: anterior epistaxis, anterior epistaxis. Here it is most common, less severe, easy to control. And then another one type is there, that is posterior epistaxis. Posterior epistaxis. Here it is less common, more severe, and then difficult to control. These are the types of epistaxis. Next we'll see the signs and symptoms. There will be the most main common symptom is, that is, there will be the bleeding from one or both the nostrils. After that, coughing and then vomiting. These are some of the main important signs and symptoms. Next we'll see the diagnostic evaluations for this. First of all, history collection and then physical examination. After that, CBC, complete blood count is needed for the epistaxis, and then X-ray and then CT scan. These are the diagnostic evaluations for the epistaxis. Next we'll see the management, treatment for epistaxis. Here, tilt the head forward. Okay. Tilt the head forward to prevent posterior blood drainage. And then apply continuous pressure. By pinching nose together for 5 minutes. For 5 minutes. And then pressure has to be applied. Pressure applied between the upper lip and gum. Upper lip and gum for 5 to 10 minutes. And then if it is not working, if there is no improvement, and then here what they are going to do is they are going to use vasoconstrictor for 5 to 10 minutes. For 5 to 10 minutes. And then at last, here what is required thing is that vasoconstrictor they are going to apply, that is for 5 to 10 minutes. And then if there is a continuous bleeding from the nose, that time resuscitation with IV fluid, that is resuscitation with IV fluid, with the IV fluid and blood transfusion, and possibly blood transfusion may be needed. Blood transfusion may be needed in the case of severe blood loss to prevent what? To prevent hypovolemic shock. Okay, this is the treatment for the epistaxis. Tilt is nothing but a leaning forward to stop posterior blood drainage, and then apply continuous pressure by pinching nose together for the 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, and then pressure has to be applied for the upper gum and the upper lip and the gum, that has to be done for the 5 to 10 minutes. After that, vasoconstrictor they are going to use for the 5 to 10 minutes, and then if at all it's not working, then resuscitation with IV fluid. Resuscitation has to be done with using a IV fluid, and then possibly blood transfusion. Blood transfusion is needed in the case of severe blood loss due to the epistaxis, to prevent hypovolemic shock. This is all about the epistaxis. I hope you all are very clear with the topic epistaxis. Please like, share and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you for watching.